Hey, hello everybody, this is Big Bang Crypto. My name is Sam and welcome to another episode. So in this video I want to show you some really important recurring similarities of the four-wave theory to understand what is going on right now. And I also want to include some basic TA that can help us to see the trend, the current trend, and what we can expect in the next days and weeks. So I want to start with this first wave in 2010, and if we say this is the beginning of this wave right here, and we take a look at when the next wave started, so let's say right here, then we have something around 100 days, all right? 100 days for this first wave. Now, if we go to the next bull market, so this is in 2012. This is in 2012, and now if we do the same and say, all right, this wave started somewhere at this point right here, and we say the next wave, the second wave, started somewhere around these points, then we're around 200 days. So it's really getting bigger, the length of this first wave, and we can also see that from the bottom of the bear market to the top of it, we have something around 260%. This is a nice big wave, and yeah, so just keep that in mind. And what I also want to show you right here is this last wall. So what does that mean? It means if we take a look at the end of a bear market, right, when it's getting closer to its end, so it's coming all the way down, and then down there we have a stage where it keeps bouncing on, and at some point it breaks below it, and this is when we find our bottom and then start to move upwards. And if you take a look at this zone and then go over here and take a look at this zone, you see that it comes down into this zone and close to the zone and a little bit inside of the zone, and above of this zone it finds support, and then at some point it really starts making higher lows and moving upwards. So just keep that in mind. So this is really important, this last stage right here and this stage right here, we come down and test it and start moving upwards. We have a 260% right here and almost 200 days of length. If we go over to the next first wave in 2015, this is this one right here. So so if we say this first wave started somewhere at these levels right here, all right, so if we say from here, and the next wave started right at this point, as you can see, now we're at 230 days, all right? So again, the length is getting bigger compared to the length of the previous first wave. And yeah, so this is really important to understand that this is really getting bigger every time. Something else that is important from the bottom right here of the bear market all the way up to the peak, we have nearly 200%. The last one was around 260%. So yeah, we're at the 200% zone. So it's similar, quite similar. And now the last wall theory that I have, if you take a look at this whole bear market, then you can see again, at some point it finds a stage where it keeps bouncing on, and when it breaks this level, we find our bottom. So if I make a horizontal line right here, so let's say this right here, this is the last wall. Make it a bit bigger so you can see it. So this is the last wall right here. And so what you can see is that this first wave came down to this last wall. So if I make it like this, so that we have a zone right here, as you can see, the price comes down close to this zone, finds support on this upper line right here, and then starts moving higher and yeah, reaching the second wave. All right, and it's not always making higher highs. All right, so this is important. Although of course it's making higher lows, but it's not making higher highs at the same moment. So not making higher highs is not necessarily an important indicator to say, all right, we have a bearish trend. I mean, for that time, of course, we have this higher lows right here. So there was something that people were expecting at these at the apex of this triangle formation. And so, but the important part is that we again come down to this zone right here, to this last wall that starts at the end of the bear market or the fourth wave of a bull market. All right. So, all right, and yeah, something else that you should keep in mind is that at the end of a wave, it's really volatile, all right, and at some point it starts to move sideways. This is very similar to the last first wave I showed you. Is at the end it was moving sideways, and then at some point it starts moving higher. All right, now let's go over to this chart right here. Here, this is the CME futures chart, and here we also have this last wall in that I just draw by watching these levels right here. And as you can see, I mean, Bitcoin came down now to this level right here. All right, this is the upper line, and is currently still finding support on it. If we fall below this line, then I think that this level right here, the $6,000 level, will be a major support level like it has been during the whole bear market, as you can see right here. So, but currently we're seeing this kind of double bottom formation, so I wouldn't be surprised if we really start moving higher, but of course it's not that easy. First we need to break this trend line, this downwards trend line, and currently it looks like if we broke it and we're now finding support on it. So it will be very exciting to see if it is support and we can move higher from here. And yeah, just have to watch that. But something else I want to show you is that from down here, from the bottom of the bear market all the way up to this, to the peak of this first wave, we're at 360% approximately. And this is really, really huge. Compared to the last first wave, this is a plus of 150%. 150%. So this is really crazy. This one right here, this massive wave. And if we say this first wave started at this point right here, when it really had a nice pump, and then we look at this point right here. So we're at approximately 260 days right now. So again, it's getting bigger and bigger, the length of this wave, right? So this is just for you to understand what's going on, and that we are really, really seeing similar price action and movements compared to the previous bull markets. And this is why I still believe that this is a bull market, because the similarities are recurring and helping us to understand what is going on. All right. So, but what does that mean? This means that it is possible we come down to this level, because the previous first waves that I just showed you, they also came back down to this level right here, the $6,000 level. All right. This is important to understand and to know. Keep that in mind if you see Bitcoin really moving downwards. The funny thing about it is, you know that I have this falling wedge theory. It's, in my opinion, not a popular thing to say, because there are not many people talking about this falling wedge formation. And coming down to this zone would bring us very close to this support level of this falling wedge formation. Right, as you can see, it's very close to this to the bottom of this last wall that I just showed you. All right. Now, something else that I also want to show you in this video is these two moving averages. So the white line right here, this is the 200 simple moving average, and this the white line, sorry, the white line up here, this is the 200 simple moving average, and the red line is the 20 simple moving average. All right, so I have a long one and a short one, and of course there are many moving averages and exponential moving averages that you can use. Just feel free and do whatever you think is best for your technical analysis. I'm used to this one, and the 200 moving average is maybe it is the most important moving average which institutional investors always keep in mind and take a look at. And so you have to always, in my opinion, know where the 200 MA is. All right? And now what I want to show you right here is that the 200 MA, no matter which time frame you're using, so currently I have the daily time frame, but no matter which one you're using, it's like a magnet. Right? Price always comes back down to the 200 or moves back up to the 200 MA. It never just goes away and the 200 is lost. All right. And I mean, if you take a look at the 200 on the CME futures chart, as you can see, I mean, up there at $14,000, this is such a big distance. So it's quite normal that we are seeing this downwards trend. We have to come back down to this magnet, to the 200 MA, and the bad news is that it has not been that big of support. I mean, right there, of course, when we touched it, we had a green bar. This was the sign, hey guys, this is a buy opportunity, and it was a major buy opportunity. We should have known that, and we have to respect these moving averages. Of course, not always. Of course, not always. You have to know how to use them. But at this point right here, when we saw this green bar, this was a buy signal. In fact, we also had a big bullish divergence on the daily chart, so a very high probability to see this move right here. And now the bad news that it's not support anymore at this point, and we fell below it. It became resistance, and for at the end at least 2 times. And as you can see, currently we're a little bit away from it. All right. And this is the good news, in my opinion. We're away from it. So like I said, it's like a magnet. And at some point, we will start to come back to test it. And I think that we are very close to this point. All right. Because usually you don't have this kind of massive movements. You more often have this little swings right here, and as you can see at this point, I mean, we moved away, again we came back down to it, now we moved away, we came back down to it, now again the distance is much bigger compared to this one, so I wouldn't be surprised to see us coming back up. And on the CME futures chart, this would be at $8,300, all right. And this is very similar to this downwards trend line. That is a really big resistance level during this whole downwards movement. So it will be very interesting to see if we're able to break this level right here at $8,400. So we need really volume for that. And yeah, I'm excited to see if this happens. Now, something else I want to show you is another Bitcoin chart. This one right here. So this is the Bitfinex chart. And now what is interesting right here is that on this chart, the 200 MA is at $9,300. Now, why is that so? Because I think the main reason is that the futures chart excludes weekend data, so we don't have that there. So I think that's the reason why the 200 MA is lower on the CME futures chart. We don't have that problem on the Bitfinex chart. So this tells us that, or this shows us that the distance on this chart is much bigger. All right, we have a much bigger distance right here. So the wider it is, the higher the probability that it will snap back to this magnet at $9,300. All right, and if we take just a look at this move right here, this drop that we had, where we also had a wide distance, as you can see, it just came back to the 200, and then it was support, and we moved upwards. Right? And yeah, so this is what you have to know currently, that there is the chance for us to move back up to the 200 MA. And something else I want to show you is the 20 MA in this chart. So as you can see, the 20 MA is playing a big role when it comes to support and resistance. When it is rising, then we really have a strong support level. When it starts to move sideways, well, then it's not that strong anymore. When it comes to the 200 MA, when this one starts to move, when it is flat and moves sideways, it has the most power, in my opinion, from my experience. And currently, and this is what's important right here, is currently the 20 MA, as you can see, this red line right here, is at approximately $7,270. So first we need to move above this level, stay there, and see that it is support, and then we can expect Bitcoin to move higher. So this is very important on the daily chart. Now you can do the same on lower time frames. So for example, when we go to the daily, to the 1 hourly time frame, what you can see here is also that the 200 acts as a magnet. Price always comes back to this level of the 200 MA. And yeah, and as you can see, I mean, when we have bigger distance, so here we're pretty close to it, but here we have a wider distance, and price comes back to this level right here. Of course, the 200 MA is following the price, but at some point, when the distance is too big, it just comes back. And now really good opportunities for you is just to watch this price movements and see where we are at compared to the position of the 200 MA. So when we are far away, you know there is a bigger chance for us to just snap back and come back to this level. So maybe you should sell at this point. And there you can use the 20 MA. When you see price falling below the 20 MA, then the chance is bigger for you to come back down to the 200. And of course, the 20 MA shows you the actual trend. So as long as we're below it and the 20 MA is declining, you know that we have a downwards trend. And at some point, the 20 MA starts to show us this rounded bottom and price starts moving higher again, you know, all right, there is a chance for it to show us some higher highs on the lower time frames, as you can see. But as soon as we break below it, again, it acts as a resistance, and we just start falling back down. And I mean, this is so interesting right here, all right? So coming down to $6,500 or $400, whatever, we see this nice pump, and look where we find support. I mean, exactly on the 20 MA. We have a green bar, we have support, and we continue rising. All right, and currently, and this is also very interesting on the 1 hourly chart, is that the 20 MA crossed over. It's now above the 200 MA. The 200 MA is acting as support on the 1 hourly chart. This is really, really, really important. And now look at this. Now the 20 MA, which acted as resistance, is now currently it is support. Right? And this is really important to know what could happen in the next hours. This can have a major effect. All right? And as you can see, we have this level right here. Price is following the flat 200 MA, the flat 20 MA, and now the 20 MA is support. And if we're able to break above this level, which is at $7,250, and if you remember on the daily chart, the 20 MA is at $7,270. If we're able to break above this level, I think that it's possible to see a nice move, and now we have to talk about this bull flag formation that we have right here. So in my opinion, this is a nice bull flag, and now we're above it. And we found support on it, as you can see right here. So we broke above it, came back down, found support on it, and now we're moving higher. And this is good, in fact, as you can imagine. If we go to the 30-minute, we see the same. Price is above the 20 MA, above the 200 MA. It acts as support currently. We have a green bar. So yeah, these are nice buying opportunities. Of course, it is better when the 20 MA and the 200 MA are both rising. Then you have major support and you know exactly you're in an upwards trend. But currently what we're seeing is also important, that the price is now supported by the 20 MA, which is above the 200. And going to the 15-minute chart, right here on this lower time frame, what you can see is that the 200 MA is rising, and the 20 MA, which is above, is also starting to rise. Right? It is starting. It is the beginning. And so this looks bullish to me. I mean, we have a bull flag formation. Now we have this formation as well. So yeah, looks good to me currently. And let's see what happens in the next hours. Yeah, this is the 5-minute chart. And yeah, as you can see now, here on this chart, they're very close. So let's see what will happen in the next hours. Going back to the 1 hourly chart. So if this is a bull flag, then it's possible to move all the way up towards $8,000. And that really, yeah, makes sense to me to see this move. Considering all that I just showed you, all right? Considering all that I just showed you, it makes sense to me to see this move. Now, if the price falls below the 200 MA on the lower time frames, so right now on the 1 hourly, this is at $7,090. And yeah, of course, the $7,000 level is really important right now. It has to be support for us. If it's not support for us right now and we come back below it, yeah, that could be a little bit dangerous for us to do what I just showed you, coming down to $6,000 maybe. All right, it's possible. All right, let's see if Bitcoin is able to use this pump and to move higher. So $7,000 is really, really important for us currently. And at the end of this video, I want to show you this triangle formation that I've been talking so much about. I mean, we were below it, so it looks like a false breakout. We were below it. We found support on this channel line. And by the way, you have access to this chart when you're in the Discord channel. And so yeah, we found support on this channel line, I mean, perfectly. And then we started moving up back into this triangle formation. And as you can see, this one right here, this is the important downwards trend line for us right now. If we're able to break above it and find support on it, then we have the chance to see a nice pump that could bring us all the way up to, yeah, $9,000, somewhere to this levels right here, $9,000. So this would be a really, really nice move. But like I said, first we have to move above the 20 MA, and this is at let's say $7,300. So $7,300 on short term is really important for us. And of course, then we have other levels that we have to watch. For example, this level right here. So you see this white line. This is at $7,800. In my opinion, this is so important to move above this level, to break this structure, and to really move above a very important level. And then I think if we can find support on it, then we could really reach these levels right here. So let's wait for that. And I also want to show you this channel line right here. So I just connected the highest point of our first wave, so at this level right here, to this $10,500 pump that we saw on the 25th of October. So I just connected these two. I think at the end this will be the major resistance level, and it is also close to the 200 MA on this chart, on a daily chart. So I think this level is really, really, really important. If we can make it above $9,000, in my opinion, this is a major, major move. Moving above 9,000, FOMO will just kick in. And so, yeah, just have to watch that. But for now, I told you these are the important levels to watch. And downwards trend lines like this one or like this one, usually at some point we break above them. All right, usually at some point we break above them, and let's see what happens. Watch out for these things that I've just showed you in this video, and then I think you will have the chance to make the right decisions. Right? As long as we're below this 20 MA, yeah, it's dangerous. It's, in my opinion, it's dangerous. We need it as support. We need it as support, and yeah, so this is important for the moment, and I'm excited to see what will happen. But in my opinion, there is a bigger chance for this to be the bottom. All right, there is a bigger chance for it. If it's not the bottom, then you know 6K is my target, and I think it's very likely to come down to this point if this or all of that I just told you won't play out. All right, thank you very much for your attention. Oh my God, 30 minutes, I'm sorry. But I hope it is helpful, guys. Leave a like and subscribe and join our Discord channel. And let me know what you think about all of this. I'm excited to hear your thoughts. And yeah, leave a like so that I can see that this is really helpful for you. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. We'll see you soon. Bye.